So she gets over to the house, and Miko, y'all know Miko, she is the apology god. She is the apology queen. She begged for apologies for herself, for other people. She wants apologies everywhere she go. I bet you if I met Miko today, she would tell me to apologize. Even though we've never had any interaction, but she would expect an apology because she's the apology god. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl JoJo coming to you with a review from inside of my car for the Ball of Wives Season 1, Episode 4. So let's get into this review. Alright, y'all, I'm looking big on this camera. I don't know if because I'm just big or if it's the angle, but either way, it's going to make me want to go work out when I get home, which I plan on doing anyway. But yeah, I'm not feeling the look, but I decided to come to you all from inside of my car because I noticed from watching my last reviews, I've been trying to kind of critique myself, but I'm kind of like subdued because I'm at home and, you know, it's people at home and I'm trying to be quiet, and half the time y'all can't even hear me, and I'm not really getting that many views, and I know it's because of I need to bring a little bit more to the review. My Mary reviews, I did a whole lot better when I first started out. And with Ball of Wives, I'm not doing that well. Now, it could be because people just aren't watching the show, but I think it has a lot to do with, you know, my mannerism and my ways and my videos. So I came to you in my car because I can kind of relax and be more myself. Now, I am in a Chick-fil-A parking lot. Talk about going to work out and in a Chick-fil-A parking lot, girl. Now, first of all, just to let you guys know, this season only has 5 episodes, which I thought was kind of disappointing because just when you're starting to get into the characters, now the show's about to go off because the first 3 episodes I felt like were kind of slow, and now we're kind of picking up and we're getting to some, you know, resolve, and then the show's about to go off. So yeah, that's going to be the unfortunate part about it, but I believe that these ladies have brought it enough where VH1 will bring them back. This episode had a lot to do with Geneva, and that was really good to see. The episode started out, however, with Geneva coming over to Miko's, Miko going over to Geneva's house so that Geneva could explain what happened and why she didn't come to her party. Okay, y'all remember, Miko, I never told you I was coming to your party. So she gets over to the house, and Miko, y'all know Miko, she is the apology god. She is the apology queen. She begged for apologies for herself, for other people. She wants apologies everywhere she go. I bet you if I met Miko today, she would tell me to apologize, even though we've never had any interaction, but she would expect an apology because she's the apology god. So she gets there and she's just like, I want an apology from Geneva for not coming to my party, and that better be what she planned on doing. Well, Geneva tells her, look, my husband had his surgery right around the time of your anniversary. He was blood. He was bleeding. It was a for real surgery. And Miko says, well, that's fine, but why couldn't you come by yourself to my party? Geneva, now, girl, Geneva, you know I love you. I love your fashions. I think you're beautiful. Big titties, nice shoes, all of that. But I'm going to have to let you know you was wrong. Yes, y'all. Yes, she was. Okay, she was wrong. We got to call it how we see it. Now, if your friend was having a party and you didn't say you weren't coming, okay, she didn't verbatim say I'll be there, but when they were talking about it, she made it seem as if she was going to be in attendance. So if you say you're coming to my party, or if you act like you're coming to my party, then I expect you to be there. So when you don't show up, the least you can do is send a text message or a voicemail, something to that extent. And I don't feel like Geneva did that. She just was just like, oh, not coming. All right. Then she tells her, well, I couldn't have came by myself anyway because I don't really get along with your friends. That right there to me was an excuse. Whether you get along with her friends, namely Stacy, or not, you know, if you guys are as cool as you say you are, then either show up to the party or at least consider her worthy enough to send a message. If she would have told Miko she wasn't coming, I don't even think Miko would have made as big of a deal as she did. But it's another thing to just not show up. I know some people, are more lenient than others. But I know when I don't show up to a friend's event, I like to let a friend know why I wasn't there, especially when they, had the expectation that I was going to be there. But she did end up apologizing to the apology guide. And so Miko was okay with that. Okay, I'm probably going a little bit out of order, but I'm still going to make it, congruent and put it together so that it all makes sense. But Asante is watching the kids. And let me just say, I really love Geneva and Asante's relationship. They seem like a couple who has been together for a while, and they just know how to have fun with each other now. Asante seemed like one of them dads that you done grew up around him, so you tired of his jokes, but all your friends think he is just hilarious, so he be telling jokes and you just be looking at him like this. Find out that Geneva, who has put everything on the back burner for Asante and not ever really went after the things that she wanted to do because she was being, wife and mother and all of that, Geneva has decided that she wants to do the swimsuit cover-up line. Every time she goes out of town or out of the country, she can never really find anything that she likes. She always ends up having to create something that she wants to wear. So she said, why not just do this full time? People always asking where I got my stuff from anyway when I do it myself. So let me just go ahead and make this happen. Asante is very supportive of Geneva. As a matter of fact, Asante has been home with the children. He was painting nails. He was cooking, and looked like the children were really enjoying their time with him. Geneva tells us a little bit more just about how she kind of put everything behind her as far as her career or anything she wanted to do, because she was being a wife, she was being a mother, she was teaching the kids, she was moving them from school to school, living kind of like in this unstable home at times. She was on the road with him. She has done a lot in the relationship, and now it's her time, and Asante understands that. It just brought up a very, very interesting point about I was talking to a guy friend of mine about the shooting in the gym comment and who needs to receive what. Now, I ain't saying, Kobe meals is what every woman deserves, but what value do you place on taking care of your household, making sure that your children are reared into these productive citizens of society when you're not home? What value do you place on these particular things? It bothers me when even other women say stuff like, well, yeah, she well taken care of, though. She don't have to complain about anything. She doesn't have to work for anything. Well, that's fine. But you guys have to remember that being a wife and a mother is fulfilling, but that's not all that women are. And I think that's what aggravates me about society, when they feel like when you're able to afford yourself the opportunity to stay at home with your kids, you should never want anything else. And how dare you feel or be ungrateful, because that is what women should all want to do, which there are a lot of women who do want to do that. However, that is not all that every woman wants to do. If I were to stay at home with my kids, which I would never, you ain't got to worry about that. But if I were to want to stay at home with my children, there are still things that I would want to pursue for myself, something for me. And I hate when people don't really remember that. So I was kind of feeling Geneva when she was talking about it. I'm trying to get myself, I know that sun is, I don't even know if that was better, you guys, but whatever. But I could kind of feel where Geneva was coming from, and it just made me happy to know that her husband was going to be supportive of her in her new endeavors. Then we get over to Stacy and Chris, and I'll put a slash, Mike and Kiafa, because they were kind of playing their scenes off of each other. Stacy is getting ready to drop the load. As a matter of fact, during the show, she does end up having her baby. Her water breaks at the house, and I was just like, all right, girl, that's what I'm talking about. That's how I want to be. If I ever decide to have some kids, you guys, I want to spend the least amount of time at the hospital as humanly possible. Go on ahead, get the cramping up. I hope I got a high threshold for pain and all of that. Going to the hospital, push them out. Ain't got to worry about no epidurals and none of that. I know it's painful for those of you guys who, had a natural birth, but oh gosh, I don't even like to think about childbirth, you guys. I can't even imagine being in labor for hours and hours and hours. Just the thought, oh my gosh, it makes me so sick to my stomach. Ugh. Sorry, y'all. Let me not complain about the miracles of childbirth, but child, You ain't, once I do it one time, if it's too difficult, you ain't never got to worry about me doing it again. So if I have a difficult birth, I will know that that's God's way of telling me he only want me to have one, because I ain't doing it again. So when our water breaks, again, it was weird because Chris, I can't quite put my finger on it. You guys remember I told you in episode 1 that I felt like Chris needed to go back to the table read. It never seems like he knows his lines. He's always being fed his lines. Like it's always somebody on the side like, ask her if she's okay. Ask her if she's okay. Like he doesn't know anything. Like he doesn't move like the rest of us are moving. Like he just seems so confused and so out there, and like what? We see a little bit more of that when they end up having a discussion about the situation between her and Kiafa. Now, Mike and Chris apparently were or are friends, but because of the beef between their wives, they haven't really been getting along that well, and they haven't really been speaking to each other. Well, according to Mike, Chris ain't been talking to him, and I can believe that because, like I told y'all in episode 1, Chris seems like he takes on whatever he's fed. So if Stacy feeds him something, he's going to eat it completely, and he's not going to ask any questions about what he is eating. So Stacy, of course, told him about the beef between her and Kiafa, but she also told him about the drink throwing, which I would have told my husband too. Chris says he doesn't appreciate anybody pouring or throwing any type of drink on his wife, and for that reason he has felt uncomfortable even talking to Mike, even dealing with Mike, and because of their beef it has now messed up their friendship and possibly some business even that they were going to do together. So Lord, I lost my train of thought. Chris ends up asking Stacy, the show's moving pretty quick because y'all got to remember this is about to be the last episode. Chris ends up asking her after she has the baby, are you and Kiafa finally gonna just settle that? Like, can we finally be done with that? You've had the baby. We're moving on. We're moving forward in this positive direction. The baby was, real cute, by the way. Cute baby. Beautiful family. Congratulations to her. But can we move on? And Stacy's just like, you know what? Since you want me to sit down, Stacy tells Chris, you know what, my husband wants me to sit down and have a conversation with this woman who is the wife of his friends. I am going to do that. I'm big enough to do that. We ain't got to be friends, like braiding each other's wig, which I thought was funny. But, if I see her out, I could do a little hey, even if it's just like a little fake hey. I actually feel like I would like Stacy. If she hadn't come on the show the way that she did, I probably really would have liked her. But, it remains to be seen. We got a whole nother episode to go. Meanwhile, Kiafa and Michael Vick, they discuss how the baby was a surprise. I think we get it by now. We definitely know that the baby was a surprise. But they're feeling blessed nonetheless. Michael Vick brings up the fact that her and Stacy have this beef and Chris hasn't been talking to him, and that is my friend, and I want you guys to solve it. I want you guys to settle it. Why is this thing even going on? You know how my household runs. We know how our household runs, and we hold ourselves to a higher standard. So why can't you just apologize, or why can't you move forward? Kiafa says that Stacy brings out like a ghetto version of her, the girl that she's been trying to forget, and Michael is just like, okay, well, don't let the ghetto come out, but why you got to be arguing? She was just like, I don't know why I be arguing with her. When you argue with a fool, you make yourself look like a fool. So now Michael Vick is up in arms, like, well, why she got to be a fool? Why she just can't be a person that you don't need to be arguing with? And Kiafa's just like, okay, fine. A person I don't need to be arguing with. Kiafa tells Mike, I just don't want to deal with her like that. And I'm not really sure what was going on. I don't know if it was shot strangely or if we missed a part of the argument. But Michael Vick is just like, well, we out here. How are you not going to talk to her? How are you not going to deal with her? And Kiafa was like, I know we in the same circles and I could tell you getting upset, but... And all of a sudden, Michael Vick is just like, well, you know what? I know the solution. I got the solution. We're going to go back to Virginia. We ain't got to live out here. What? First of all, Stacy and Chris have already moved. Okay, we found that out during the show, right before she went into labor, right before her water broke, they had already said that they had done moved into their new home. So y'all already not neighbors, okay? So you already got that headache out the way. Number two, why is Michael Vick so hot and bothered to the point where he could move to a whole nother state because Kiafa's not getting along with a female? Like, is this Kiafa's, second or third offense doing this with another woman where you done had to fall out with your friends? Or is there something bigger going on with you and Chris? Like, were you guys going to plan this great event or have this very, very large business that was going to bring in a lot of money to the point where now Kiafa and Stacey have ruined that? Are you and Chris some type of dynamic duo that we didn't know anything about? And without that duo in the world, you guys are just not going to be able to make it. I'm just like, who is Michael Vick and a Chris? Like, why is the relationship that serious? Who are y'all? Batman and Robin? Chris Cross. Martin and Tommy. Tom and Jerry? Kid and Play? Ghost and Tommy. I'm just confused as to why Michael Vick is in his feelings this much. Then Kiafa gets emotional. She starts crying. I was just like, there's something else going on. I am so confused as to why we have gotten to this point. So we skip over to Miko's house because Stacey has decided to drop by so the baby can see her crazy aunties. And crazy aunties is right. They in there, they're having a little drink, and Stacey does end up letting them know that she is planning on calling Kiafa so they can have a meetup. And you can tell by the reactions of both Miko and Crystal that Stacey is one to hold a grudge. Stacey is unforgiving, and I only say that based on the reactions that her friends had and the surprise that they had, that Stacey was going to sit down and have a conversation with Kiafa. Now, Stacey continues to let us know that she is not the one with the problem. Kiafa is disrespectful, and Kiafa's the one with the problem. Kiafa tells us Stacey is disrespectful, and Stacey's the one with the problem. Will we ever know the truth, you guys? I don't know. Miko also tells her that she's going to Geneva's party, and Stacey's just like, And she said, well, you would never want to go anyway because Carmina's going to be there. But I will tell you, when I see Carmina, I am going to say something to her about throwing that drink on you because she was wrong. So I hope she's there, and I'm definitely going to say something to her. So I was just like, whatever. You're probably going to demand an apology, Miko, because you're the apology guy. We skip on over to this party, you guys, and Crystal is extra excited. She gets to come as Miko's +1 because her and Miko have been hanging out so much, and they so cool now. So she's there. Is it just me, or does Crystal look different in confessionals every week? Every week, Crystal looks like a different person to me. And it's not just, her having a bob or having the long hair. I don't know if it's her makeup, or she is just one of those women that can change her look several times, because every time she looked like a different person to me. But she's there and she's excited because she's single, as she keeps letting us know, and she is always ready to mingle. So they get to the fashion show. Geneva looked great. I loved her shoes. She is just a baddie in every sense of the word. She's very grateful to her team for being there. Carmina looked like she don't play. And I'm not talking about fighting. I'm talking about like with event planning, with getting stuff together. Carmina is that friend that you have as your maid of honor. She be trying to be a hostess at the same time. She be bossing everybody around, planning your baby first birthday party, planning your bachelorette party, planning your wedding anniversary, planning your bridal shower. She just seemed like the type of friend that gets stuff together and people just listen to her and move when she moves. So I like Carmina. She definitely reminds me of a homegirl. Show ends up going well. She has a couple of pieces I liked. I might have to check out and see if she has a website or something like that. But the models were out, in the open. It wasn't like a fashion show, like a runway show. I've actually seen a friend of mine do this before. It's more interactive, where you can have the model kind of spin around or pose differently, and you can touch the material. And I think the interaction makes for a much better night, depending on what you want the feel to be. So everybody's mixing and mingling and checking out the show. We look over and we see Emily. Now, Emily's feeling a little self-conscious and a little uncomfortable. Why is this? Because not only does she see Crystal, but now Crystal has a couple of homegirls with her. And the homegirls are apparently some girls that Emily knows don't like her and don't deal with her. And Emily is starting to feel like, because these girls came over and they had on stud earrings and little to no makeup and their hair was cornrowed, they came to fight. If the girls would have came with like a weave base, and I'm talking about like I'm talking about what my hair look like when I take my wig off. You know, like the cornrows, the real skinny cornrows, the ones that you use, you know, to base a sew in. If they would have showed up with them, y'all remember how Sky looked when she was about to fight Rashida Ali? When that stocking cap came off and she had the straight back braids. That is the type of cornrows I would imagine if somebody was coming to fight. But them cornrows them girls had, those were not the I'm coming to fight type of cornrows, okay? Who gonna go up to the damn braid shop and get them some hair and be like, girl, you know, go ahead and hook me up with that Beyonce because when I get there, I'm about to fight somebody in the next couple of weeks. Nobody's going to get their hair done so that they can fight. I don't even think either one of them wanted with each other. I don't think Crystal want to fight Emily. I don't think Emily want to fight Crystal. I don't think either one of them really are fighters, because if they were truly about it, then they would have got into it on that yacht. And neither of them did. They had nothing but space and opportunity to get it done on that yacht, and they did not. So I don't believe that either one of them want to fight. What I do believe is that Crystal possibly wanted to intimidate Emily, but I don't think she wanted to fight Emily. Now, what I wish Emily would have done was excuse herself quietly and just went on home, okay? But what she did instead was she goes up to Geneva and said, you know, I'm really uncomfortable, and when you bring your girls here and they got cornrows and they got little to no makeup, then I got to assume they coming for me and they coming to fight. And Geneva was just like, hold on now. I don't want no drama. And Emily's just like, no, that's why I'm leaving, because I don't want any drama. Well, Emily, if you really didn't want any drama, then you would have left a long time ago and you would have just said, look, girl, I got to go. You know, Crystal here and our girls, I ain't really trying to get into it with nobody. I'm tired anyway. You know, good luck with everything. I love the show. Don't say nothing. You ain't got to do nothing. I appreciate it. If you want, you can walk me to my car, but you know, I'm leaving. But instead, she's sitting there. She's talking to Geneva. Now, Geneva likes mess, y'all. She does. I like Geneva. I think she's beautiful. I think she's fun. But judging from this episode as well as others, Geneva likes to get it started. Geneva likes mess. And I think we all just need to agree with that and move on. Geneva's just like, well, no. Now let me go ahead and say something to her, because number one, I didn't know she had brought no friends with her. Okay, she a +1. +1s are +1ing. Shout out to Evelyn. She cannot bring other people in here with her, and if anything, I want them gone and not you gone. So let me go on over here and make sure I get them escorted out. She goes over and tells them, look, if it's a problem, we not going to have it. If you here with any drama, you can go ahead and leave. And then next thing we know, we see old Cornrow and another girl walking out. Crystal doesn't understand what's going on. Why are my friends being escorted out? I want to be like, Crystal, girl, you need to sit down, because didn't nobody even tell you you can invite your homegirls, all right? Don't be inviting people to my party. Now, if anything, I don't like mess, but if I was Geneva, I would have went over there and introduced myself and been like, hey, how y'all doing? This is my party. I see y'all was invited. How y'all doing? Okay, this is actually, I'm the host. I think Crystal believes she the host, but I'm the host. How are y'all? Crystal's looking for Emily because she wants to know why Emily is being a coward, and why couldn't she just talk to her, and why does she believe that somebody was coming to beat her up? And here come Miko talking about if somebody comes to a party to fight you, then you must have done something wrong. Shut up, Miko. Okay, everybody probably done came to a party to fight you. Crystal is kind of following Emily out to the car, but Emily's already done left, and Kiafa's just like, she gone, don't worry about it. Crystal doesn't understand why she gets to do that. Why does she just get to up and leave and be a coward? She couldn't approach me. And Kiafa goes off to tell Crystal, well, why couldn't you just be the bigger person? And I was just like, no, Kiafa, you can shut all of that bigger person up, okay? Because neither you nor Drop the Load over there have been able to be the bigger person the whole season, okay? All 5 episodes. Neither one of y'all really been able to be that big of a person, even when y'all claim y'all trying to be the bigger person. So you're in no position to tell nobody to be the bigger person unless we talking about stomach because you pregnant. Other than that, no ma'am. Okay, don't tell her to be the bigger person. Which, even though I don't care for Crystal, I do understand where Crystal was coming from. All right, don't, throw the rock and then lead a party. All right, then leave and leave out, and you don't want to talk to anybody. If you were going to leave out, that's what you should have done in the beginning, and you should have done so quietly. But you want to try to call people out, and then when the heat is on you, okay, now that Geneva done kicked everybody out for you, you want to leave. And I know you didn't tell Geneva to do that, but if you've been around Geneva enough, then you know Geneva well enough to know that she was going to get it started. You shouldn't even say nothing to her. You should have quietly sent her a text and said, girl, I had to leave. I enjoyed your party. We can talk about it later. But also during the party, Miko goes over During the party, Miko goes over to Carmina and does exactly what she said she was going to do. She approaches her, and when she put her drink down on that table and said, "Drinks on the table," I hollered, y'all. Literally, I screamed. Carmina just kind of looked at her like, "What's up?" Long story short, y'all, Miko wants an apology. She wants an apology for her friend. You know that if somebody were to throw a drink on Kiafa and she's sitting here pregnant, you would feel away, which is true. Carmina tells her, look, she said something about the girl mama. I was there when she died. I snapped. Miko calls her out on it. It was just like, well, you snapped a whole 10 minutes later. Because while we were sitting there, you wasn't upset and you wasn't mad. And Carmina really didn't have too much to say about that. And I was just like, uh-oh, Carmina, now did we catch you up in a lie, girl? Either way, Miko wants an apology for her friend. And Carmina said, you know what? She will not get an apology from me unless I'm getting an apology for what she said to Kiafa. So basically just stupid, y'all. Everybody on these shows always want, you gotta apologize to me, but y'all claim y'all the bigger people and y'all want to move past something. Yo, don't nobody want to move past nothing. All y'all want is a whole bunch of apologies, okay, from the apology god, Miko. So the next episode is going to be 2 hours long, and that's when Kiafa and Stacy are going to have their sit down. I really hope we get to the bottom of who has the problem, y'all, because I promise you, I am so confused. That is it for the Baller Wives. Been on this camera a long time. I think I might go get me some coffee, and then I'm going home. I ain't working out today, y'all. I'm going to just be 100% honest with you. You know, nigga, tired. Tired. It was my first day back to work, and let me oh... Ooh, when you've been laying around, you know, for days and days and days, and then you go back to work, yeah, it was rough, y'all, but it was good. I still enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna get it edited, and then I'm going to go to bed early. So like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you as always for watching, and you have a great day or night whenever you might be watching this. Bye.